Hello. Welcome
And
in.
we're back.
Welcome into the oldie show. Yeah, right. We're not doing an oldie show tonight.
Oh,
no
that'd
oldie
been
show
dope.
tonight.
I wouldn't mind one.
You wouldn't mind. They just want to see you. You just want to dance.
Hey,
People want to see you dance.
it's a dancing type of day, you know.
Welcome in, everybody. Appreciate you guys tuning in tonight.
Definitely.
Everybody that's up in here. We're starting early. I know it's set for 8:00, but we're gonna start early because NORBEEZ set up early. He got his phone calls down, his phone call app down early.
You said run it.
Let's do it. Welcome in. Hope you guys had a good day today. Wherever you're at, with your fam bam, by yourself. Maybe you're in your car. Who knows where you're at? Wherever you're at, whatever state you're in. Appreciate you guys.
They might be in the toilet watching.
Oh, man, Lord, why you gotta say the most ugliest things, bro? Why you want to picture people in the toilet, homie?
Hey, you never done that? You never just tapped into a podcast?
You know what? No, I would
masa.
not. No, because I don't take that long in there sitting down. I don't know how people sit down for that long and want to read a newspaper like back in the day.
That's where you do your best thinking.
Or even if you're watching somebody on a video, like it would, I don't know, bro. I would feel like they're watching me. Like, because you know your cameras are watching you, homie. Your cameras they're able to see you.
Oh, that's that one image when I can picture that one FBI guy going with his thing like this. You ever seen that picture?
Nah.
Where it's like a meme, and it says when FBI sees my history.
Oh nah, I don't know.
There's an FBI guy going like this, like
I don't know which one that is.
like he's
bro.
all disgusted.
No, but I wouldn't want to hold my phone and imagine they could tap into your camera and then see you.
You know what? I think it's because the privacy. You get nothing but privacy. Two, the acoustics, because everything's very closed up, so the audio is really a lot more. You're more in tune with the audio. And it's just
I don't know about you sometimes.
and it's just
NORBEEZ.
you.
You make me wonder,
You
man.
know?
You make me wonder. Anyways, how was your day, bro? How was your day?
It was good. It was good. It was interesting actually because some things happened today, and I think we're gonna get into what happened. One of the topics on the title,
Okay.
called Ice Ponies, but that's something that happened today, and you know we're in the beginning stages of our heat wave. It's gonna get hot this week, and everything's just a little slower this week around. I think especially because of the holidays that just happened. So,
All right. Cool.
what about you?
Nothing. Just chill, bro. I've been chilling and tatting, and what else have I been doing? Driving around looking for new places to eat. If you guys have any recommendations on restaurants, I would like to do. Have you ever thought about doing a review on a restaurant?
I have,
I would like to do something like that.
but I do them on Google.
No, but I would like to go to the actual restaurant.
Oh,
And
shout
hey,
out
what's
to
up? Hey, go ahead. My bad. I was gonna say it right now.
I was gonna say shout out to Victor Aguilar for gifting the membership.
Hey, thank you, Victor. And Moreno got that.
That's right.
What's up, Moreno in the house? Appreciate you guys. Everybody in the chat. Lisa, Sel, Victor, Moreno, El Pidote. Who else is up in there? I want to give a shout out to the homie Panch from San Diego. He has his own tattoo spot over there. If you guys are in San Diego, go check him out. Most definitely does good work. A good homeboy, old school. Much respect to him. Shout out to Carla from Valencia in San Diego. Shout out to you, Carla. I hope you're having a good night wherever you're at. You're probably kicking it with Pancho right there. But I hope you guys like the show tonight. And shout out to who else? I was gonna give
Mac Ryan.
oh yeah,
Zapata
Mac
Vive.
Ryan and Sabata. Also, I was gonna say I want to give a shout out to one of the only YouTube channels that plays music that I like, and that's the homie Gilu. I want to give a shout out to Gilu. He's a good homie, and he plays good music. He has his show almost every night. I think he has his show.
Yeah,
with
as far as I
different
can
hosts.
tell, it's every night. Yeah.
But yeah, shout out to Gilu. That's a good dude right there. You guys might want to subscribe to his channel.
Definitely.
Also, I want to give a shout out to Sonny from Street Saint Loyal.
That's right.
That's a good homie right there. Solid dude, and very humble. A very humble man. And I send all my respects to him and his wife. And yeah, but go for it, bro. Let's get into this.
All right, let's go with the as you guys all know, it's a first come first serve on the community post. So we got the Stormy one. Now I don't know if you're gonna be able to get into it because it seems pretty long.
Uh-huh.
But I'll read it anyway. Just
Okay, go ahead.
Hey, Marvelous. This is from Stormy Storms Luna, 8724. Hey, Marvelous. Been trying to get a hold of you for a while now and have gotten no response. But I'm a practicing Israelite for almost 10 years now, and recently left my camp. With that being said, with this truth becoming more mainstream and more common knowledge, how can we prevent Israelite churches from becoming the same thing as any other Christian church? Or how do we prevent the corruption or perversion happening in Christianity from overtaking the Hebrew Israelite movement?
Well, here's the thing. The first thing you need to understand with that is that the whole church thing, that's just a temple, bro. And if you understand scripture, which I know you probably do, if you've been with the camp, is that the church are the people, bro. The people. That's where three or more are combined, right? So the temple that you're going to really doesn't matter. What you need to focus on is finding an elder that is in the truth and living by the truth. Also, the second thing is that the Israelite thing is not a movement. There is no such thing as an Israelite movement or whatever. You know, people want to use the term of the black Hebrew Israelite. That's the first thing or the first mistake that people make is saying the word black. You know, there's no such thing as black or a separation between black and brown. Only the containment of melanin that you have in your skin pigment and in your blood. But that's the other thing. This what you know as the Torah or scripture is for a bloodline, a specific code and laws, bylaws that were for a certain group of people that carry the Ark of the Covenant, right? Which are indigenous people. If people do their research, you'll know who that indigenous people are. There's only one group of people that carried an Ark of the Covenant, you know, and they were here. So yeah, don't put your people put their high hopes into a camp and because they're in this new stage of learning, you know, or progressing and wanting to learn biblical history. Don't put your trust in no man at all. Don't idolize no man at all. If he's speaking the truth and the truth is in him, he'll be living by everything how you're supposed to be living. Just say it like that, right? So the reason why I'm in contact with a lot of camps, bro. Ohio, Connecticut, Maryland, DC, the brothers in New York, camps over here in LA, Compton, you know. But the reason why I don't associate with some camps or haven't joined a camp is because I don't believe in the whole camp movement, because that's where things get distorted and you get it's kind of like a clique, and when a clique gets too big, they start clique tripping, you know. Another thing is not to bash some of the camps or anything like that, but some of them indulge in you know, drinking. You know, it is okay to drink, but if it's organic, not Hennessy and not none of these man-made drinks that are produced by corporations that have if you know about the corporations and the whole alcohol thing, or even the name alcohol, such as a lot of Israelites do know that where the name alcohol comes from, you know, that's a demonic being, and you shouldn't indulge in that being just because you're trying to validate that oh, God said I can do that. Yeah, he said you could drink wine. You know, you're able to drink wine, an organic grape that he produced. Not that's not man-made. Anything that's man-made would be considered an abomination. And if your spirit says that it's wrong to do, then you already know that it's wrong. You shouldn't have to ask anybody, hey, do you think I should go to this camp? Or do you think I should kick it with these brothers? Or do you think they're teaching right? If you already have to ask that question, you already know it's wrong. Your own discernment is telling you that it's wrong. So, you know, you don't need to ask anybody to validate what you already know is wrong or right. You know, so my bad if I'm long-winded with that answer. I just want to.
Hey, do you think that's why they separate the words spirit and wine?
What do you mean separate the words?
When they don't put them together.
Oh no, they're not gonna tell you.
You know how the places where they sell it.
Yeah.
They put on their storefront, they'll put spirits and wine.
Okay.
Like, is that one? Do you think that's one of the reasons why they keep them separate? Because
you know what,
spirits are spirits, and wine is wine.
No, but spirits are in a lot of stuff, bro. There's a lot of wines that aren't organic. You know, they're produced by companies, and anything that's mainstream and meaning like say that, for instance, the genre of music, right? People don't know like to make it mainstream, like Cardi,
Yeah.
and all these people. You
No,
know
no.
what I mean?
What I'm saying
Or
is like
Madonna.
they both have alcohol, right? So I don't see why they would have to separate them.
Oh, the name alcohol.
You know, yeah. Well, no, they both have a type of alcohol, they're both fermented.
Well, see, that's a name.
Well, they're both fermented.
There's a reason why they named it that. You know, it's not just like or people out here know alcohol. Hey, you're gonna get some alcohol.
Yeah, yeah.
Go get. They don't know where that word comes from.
No.
You're just using that word every day, but you're calling on a spirit. When
But-
you say that,
yeah,
remember when
yeah,
we did
yeah,
the
yeah,
video
yeah,
on
yeah.
feelings, bro?
Yeah.
What are feelings?
Yeah.
Come on, homie. What are they? I'm asking you. You
Oh,
don't
yeah.
remember?
You're asking
You
me.
forgot already? Yeah, I'm asking
You're
you.
putting me on the spot, Marlon.
I have to put you on the spot because you're here with me, bro.
All
And if
shit.
you can't remember, that's fine.
right, I
But,
can't remember.
Okay, feelings are the physical manifestation of the feelings that are being manifested to you. The frequency that is it's manifesting itself.
Okay, I
through
kind of had
sound,
it. I kind of had it there, but I wasn't too sure to say it
all
like
right?
that. But
So when you say that name
yeah,
or anything, you say that the abracadabra, you say
Yeah.
anything, bro. You know, you speak things into existence. You
Yeah.
open what you can't see right here to be a spiritual portal. You open that portal.
yeah. For the
All right.
most part, it is we have power over those words. We're the ones that give it its power.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean you should. I mean, you could say that you have
Yeah.
power over them, but you should really learn not to speak that, even say it.
Okay,
because
well,
you're-
my point is that's just the reason why they always keep those. They always say spirits and wine.
oh, okay.
They never just include everything in one package
Mm-hmm.
because wine's always going to be different than spirits.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay, NORBEEZ, get to the next one, homie, because we're gonna go off.
All right. Only 64 says, "What are your thoughts on Karen Bass showing up to an ICE raid in MacArthur Park this morning? Was it just a media op to appeal to the protesters?"
Okay, so because you were talking about it earlier, or we were talking about it earlier.
Yeah.
What is your opinion on her? And then I seen one video, that 20 people shot to me. So
Yeah.
I heard her speaking on some stuff, but I didn't get the whole gist of it. So go ahead.
Well, I mean,
explain that.
for the most part, I definitely think for her, it's definitely a photo op. I mean, she hasn't done much as far as policies and using the LAPD to actually protect the people here. She at this point she's just trying to get brownie points, publicity, and she's trying to look good right now in front of the camera when she could do a lot more.
And that's what
behind
all
the
of them
camera.
do. All of them do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
All of them do that. I wouldn't doubt it if they were paid to go out there.
But I would say I do give respect for her calling out that ICE was lying about the purpose of them being there because according to DHS they were doing an operation to go after MS-13 members.
That's what they said that they were doing today?
That's what they said they were doing today.
Yeah, but that's retarded. You know what I mean? Because at MacArthur Park, everybody knows that they hand out kits for people to do whatever they're doing.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
stay like that.
Yeah.
They literally walk around the park and hand
yeah.
out bags and
Oh,
stuff.
yeah, and
Or
they're-
pull up in a truck. They
And
do.
you
they
see
do
them
that
just sitting there like
every day. So
yeah.
for them to talk about any type of cleanup, that park has not been cleaned up since, man, before I was born probably. You know what I mean? I used to go walk all around there in the 90s with my cousin. I used to stay right there.
it was nice in the 60s. It was really nice.
You know, but what I'm saying is like,
I used to
there's no
walk there.
excuse to say that, oh, we're gonna go clean up something now. You
Well,
know?
that's the part too, because they really just ended up just picking up street vendors instead. They didn't really pick up any gang members. They picked up street vendors.
And they're not gonna pick up gang members because gang members aren't like you can't even tell a gang member these days.
Not
Not like the 90s.
You're right.
When you were to go to MacArthur Park in
Yeah.
the 90s, you're able to tell the vatos that were from MS or 18 or Crazy Riders or anything. Like you look like a gang member.
Yeah.
And now you can't tell.
You can't tell.
You know?
They look like regular people.
Yeah. All right, go for next one. My bad.
Oh well, let me ask you.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
What do you think? What do you think the whole purpose of them being on horses today meant? Because they've never been on horses. Maybe like by the border, maybe. But right here, they made it a thing to show up with horses.
I mean, well, they were in trucks too, bro. You know, it's just there's just a certain
Like
group
what?
of them that was in horses.
You don't think there's any type of meaning that they
Because
decided
they were in
to?
horses. They were in horses. You know, they're just using that. You know, it's not nothing like
It's more like a gimmick.
Not a gimmick, bro. It's just like, you know, if they have access to horses, they're gonna do that for more ground control.
Yeah.
You know, people could only do so much by just holding a baton.
Yeah.
But when you're up on a horse, it kind of gives you more authority that you're gonna go at it with a horse.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody want to get kicked by a horse.
No.
Come on, they're gonna be laid out right there. But yeah, that's all I think it was. I don't think it's nothing that has.
What
to do
would
with
be a
anything
good
else.
defensive
What?
way? A good way to defend yourself from a horse attack.
From a horse attack? Shoot, go with a rope,
Go to rope.
get a wrangler, and go get that horse by the lasso that horse's legs. You know what I mean? And knock down that whole horse. Only because what are you gonna do? You know,
Punch
unless you're gonna, I don't. There's no way. The horse is too strong.
You ever seen Conan the Barbarian?
Yeah.
You ever seen that scene where Arnold just walks all drunk to a horse and he gets pushed by the horse and he just punches the horse and gets knocked out?
Yeah, I seen it.
Might work.
Okay, NORBEEZ, come on, go to the next one, man. Go to the next one.
All right, Risky Business says in the 1800s, helping a runaway was illegal, punishable by $1,000 fine and 6 months in jail time. Speak on laws not being morality. I wonder if Latinos for Trump would help the runaways. You know, I do see some people that did vote for Trump, that were pushing for Trump, that are now backpedaling. And
Like that dude that got his wife taken. They were mean. They're still, and he's like, they're asking him,
Oh,
what do
yeah,
you
yeah.
think about Trump now? And he's like, well, I don't know what to think now. Like, you're just not thinking, period, homie. Like your wife was pushing about all this Trump stuff, and she, you know, the laws that are coming with him.
yeah.
Everything that's coming with them, it's right there in the bag for you to read up on and see. And then you know that if you don't got your papers, you're gonna be put into that category. You know what I mean? Like, don't be all sad now.
Now I got a question for you, Marvelous. I don't know if you're familiar with what happened recently in Texas with a flood.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now this happened in a very red state, you would say, in a red county also, with a lot of MAGA. You could say MAGA people. Now, as far as I know, 87 people unfortunately got deleted in that flood. Now,
Kids, man, a lot of kids, and
yeah, a lot of
that
kids.
sucks.
And well, the part is what I'm trying to get to is that you know, now they're doing the whole, you know, it's messed up, what's happening, you know, that sucks. But these are the same people that are saying, yeah, delete, you know, these are the same people that say deport them all, get rid of their kids, get rid of their parents. You know, we don't want them in this country. These are the same people that are going through a traumatic moment right now.
Yeah.
That at the same time saying, you know, we need to send all these illegals out of here.
Yeah.
Their kids should go also. All of them should get out of here. Like, now I'm noticing online, a lot of people are not are really throwing that back at them. Like, okay, well, you know, that's what happened with your president. And you guys are the same people that are trying to destroy families, and you guys laugh about it.
Yeah.
Like, why would you guys, you know, ask for any type of sympathy? Now the tough thing, the thing is should we, you know, the ones that are the ones that are, you know, hurting because our people are getting hunted down, should we be, you know, sympathetic towards what's happening to them in a sense?
Yes, bro. We should be sympathetic, and because you can't help a person or help to how should I say it? I'll say it like this: like a young we'll bring up Lefty gunplay, right? He's doing all these things. You know what I mean?
Recently, he got into a car accident.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. I'm getting at that, right? He's loaded all the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He something's always happening with this dude where he ends up going viral, right?
Yeah.
But should we condemn him for that, or try to teach him or teach him better to make him come out of his ignorance? And what I'm saying, these people are in their ignorance. You know, whether they're raza supporting Trump or whatever because they believe in something.
Yeah.
At one point, we all wanted to believe in something.
Yeah.
You know, but me, and I'm gonna say this personally, I'm just gonna bring me into this conversation.
Yeah.
Because I was raised by an older gentleman.
Yeah.
My grandfather, born in 1918, and he used to talk about all these presidents. And you know, I remember when he went to go when Reagan was in office, bro, and we were going to go vote, and he was I was a little kid, man,
Yeah.
and he's talking about Bush, and you know, I'm just listening to him speak
Yeah.
to all these older gentlemen, you know what I mean, and they're all talking about how none of these guys have done anything
Yeah.
for the community. They rile up the communities, whether it be raza or black or whatever.
Yeah.
And they're like, this is what we're gonna do. This is what we're gonna do for you, and this is gonna change. And we're gonna come into your community, and we're gonna lower taxes, and we're gonna create more jobs, and we're gonna build more corporations so you can have more jobs, and we're gonna build this apartment complex and these housing projects for lower income people. And you right there feeling like, oh my God, he's gonna help me because I'm a lower income person.
Yeah.
You know? But you're not. You're not a lower income person. Why? Because it's the system that has you like that. You're not. You have good ideas. You might be an inventor. You might have something else to offer your community.
Yeah.
But the only reason why you don't and why you stay a victim of the system
Yeah.
is because you're distracted with everything else that's meant to distract you from becoming somebody or something. Or creating a corporation.
Yeah.
They don't want you to be at that level where they're at.
Yeah.
They keep you down here.
Yeah.
You know, you want to open your small business today. We'll give you a business loan. How much interest do you have to pay? How many what you call it, contracts you have to sign? You have to get insurance on that business.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You have to do you have to hop through so many obstacles, and that's what I'm getting at. You know, you have to go to school for 10 or 20 years to get your master's. You know, for what? Why do they call it a master? Why? Why do you wear that square cap and that black gown, the same as the judge? Why do you wear that? That's part of the indoctrination that you're getting.
Yeah.
You're believing that you're going to school, that you're being taught something, and you're not. All you're being told to do in school is repeat what the teacher is telling you to repeat. And if you don't repeat it, then you don't pass. Repeat what I say.
You're right about that.
It's just like your kids. Listen to what I say. Listen to what I say. Don't talk like that. Do this.
Yeah.
And if they do everything they tell you, then they're a good kid, right?
Yeah.
But if they do anything else, you're a bad kid.
Yeah.
If you do anything else but what they tell you to do, you're bad. You're bad. You're never going to get nowhere.
No, you're right.
It's a system, bro.
Now, let me ask you, Marvelous. Some people might say what you just said right now as victim mentality.
But that's yeah, it is a victim mentality because we're a freaking victim. We are. We're a victim.
We are.
We are. Like, what else are you going to call it? Is that something to put a person speaking on all this down and call it, oh, that's a victim mentality? Well, duh. You are a victim. It's just like when you go to the hospital, homie. Have you ever been to the hospital and they ask you these questions right here? Oh, Mr. NORBEEZ, sir. So I see diabetes runs in your family, right? Is that a true statement?
No.
No? What if your mom had diabetes?
No.
What if she had a type of cancer, right?
Yeah.
I see cancer runs in your family.
Yeah.
You know, your dad had this or your mom had this.
Yeah.
Is that a true statement that it runs in your family?
Nope.
No, it's not.
Nope.
It's not a true statement.
No.
What the truth is about that statement that he's making is that there are certain products that we are eating, indulging in, that is causing that.
Yeah.
And we're a victim of that
Yeah.
because we're not educated on what's healthy, what's organic, what's acidic. We don't know nothing.
No,
Same thing as terms and words that people are using. Alcohol.
Yeah.
They don't know where the word alcohol comes from. They just know it as a drink. That's it. They don't know. They don't know that.
No, you're right. You're right. And then it's crazy, you know. And one thing is because I see a lot of these raza, like not podcasters, but they're like business guys that tend to say that, oh, everyone's always playing the victim mentality. Oh, the biggest haters, the biggest Mexican haters are other Mexicans. And for the most part, and these are people that made a lot of money in their own way. But the one thing is that, nobody looks at the history of why they have the opportunity to make money here.
Yeah.
Because I think up to the 1940s, 1950, nobody from Raza, especially here in LA, was getting a loan. Nobody got business loans. We barely passed laws that made sure that our children get educated.
But see, that's the thing. The word you said, here's a word that you said right now.
Yeah.
You use the word opportunity. They're not getting the opportunity. Who is anybody to say that you should have an opportunity or not when this is your land? This is your land, homie.
Yeah. No, you're right about that part. And unfortunately, they run a system that, carries the money. Like that's how the whites have been able to create generational wealth, because they've always had that locked up. They get the loans, they get the businesses, they get the houses, they get everything from these banks. And when it comes to somebody brown like us, we couldn't get a loan. They wouldn't give it to us.
And if you did get it, it's at a higher interest rate.
Yeah. And then it was even illegal for them to deny us. And they did deny us. And they made sure we didn't buy certain properties in certain parts of the city.
Yeah. Look at the whole Compton.
Yeah.
The white flight.
Yeah.
Why did they move all those white people out of there? Why did they do that?
Yeah.
They lowered that whole property value.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They took away money
they
from
threw
everything.
all kinds of liquor stores everywhere.
Yeah.
They caused the destruction of a certain group of people that come from a certain tribe.
Well, I'm glad you brought the liquor part up, because I think you and I both know the majority of the people that run those. And this is not to throw shade at a culture here in LA, but I know for the most part, the most poisonous store in our neighborhoods are liquor stores. And for the most part, the majority of the people that run these liquor stores are Koreans.
Well, not only that, bro. There's people there. Just put it this way, without saying Korean.
Yeah.
The majority of people that run these liquor stores are every other ethnicity but our own. You don't see no raza running a liquor store, a 7-Eleven. They may work there, but they don't run it.
Yeah, yeah.
We don't run no gas stations.
Yeah.
We don't run that shit. You might work there. We're the custodial workers. We're the ones that they get for cheap labor.
Yeah.
That put in the most work.
Yeah,
that's
crazy.
That's who we are.
Well,
they want to pay us cheap to build up a city, and then they want to kick us out of that city so they could enjoy it.
Well, I mean, that's for the most part. And the reason why I bring up the Koreans mostly is because I'm pretty sure you're familiar with the LA riots. Most people want to say it's because of what happened to Rodney King.
Right.
But most people don't wonder, why did so many black people go after Korean stores?
Well, it's not they didn't go after Korean stores. It's just those are the people that own that store.
No, because they could have done the riots anywhere in LA. They specifically made the main part of the riots all happen in Koreatown.
Let me tell you something, because that's not a true statement. Let me tell you something. If you have a community, you just stay in your community, bro. And you go to a liquor store or wherever store you like to shop at.
Now we're talking about the LA riots.
No, but let me tell you something, because this has to do with that, bro.
All right.
You have a certain community. It just so happens within that vicinity, in that area, those people happen to own some of those stores right there, right? And you get those people that never hook you up. If you're short maybe a couple of pennies, they don't want to sell you that stuff. Aren't you going to have animosity towards that? And be like, you know what?
No.
Forget that, dude.
Not really.
Maybe not you, because you might not have a fighting gang member spirit.
Let me
but let me tell you something. From my point of view, growing up in a barrio like that, that's the first person I'm gonna go get. Man, forget that. Forget that vato. That vato, man, he used to raise his taxes on me. He tried to get me for stealing. I wasn't stealing.
Yeah.
Look at that Asian lady that hit that black girl, that little kid.
Thank you.
In the back of the head.
Thank you.
You think they're not going to retaliate?
But that's one of exactly.
Look at Reginald
point.
Denny. Look at Reginald Denny driving through the alley riots, homie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Tried to drive
what
right through it.
ethnicity was he?
White.
Of course. You're going to make an example. You've been doing this to our people for hundreds of
Yeah.
years, thousands of years.
Yeah.
And we get 1 year dudes and you want to cry about it?
Yeah.
Imagine if all those people, blacks and brown, rose up, NORBEEZ. Imagine if they started doing what these colonizers did. Marched their asses all the way up to Beverly Hills, bro.
Yeah.
Up to the mansions and started knocking on doors.
Yeah.
Imagine that.
Yeah.
All the people that are Persian will be like, "Hey, what are you doing?"
Now, before we get more ahead, I
ahead.
do want to recognize the little girl that you mentioned. Her name is Latasha Harlins.
Okay.
Latasha Harlins was, I think as far as I can tell, she was 15 years old.
Right, a young girl, man.
That got shot in the back by the Korean store owner.
Yes.
The lady that did no time.
No time.
Did no time.
No time. The same as that little kid that was claiming that gang, the 90s, over there in Long Beach or something. I think it was Long Beach. But anyways, you know what I'm talking. People in the chat know who I'm talking about. You guys should throw his name. And they went and did in another dude, some dude, right? But they were driving that little white dude's Mercedes, right? He didn't get convicted for nothing. He didn't get convicted, but the other two youngsters that were with him did. You know, that weren't white. He lived in a good neighborhood. He used to drive down here, you know?
But that's what I'm saying, you know, that's one of the reasons why the LA riots, and I'm glad you brought that up about the little girl, because she was definitely one of the main factors of why, because for the most part, I think we could all say it was mostly more blacks than any other ethnicity in the riots, for the LA riots.
Well, the areas that they showed. You know, there's a lot of raza that were participating in stuff
there were,
too, you know
there
what
were,
I mean?
but for the most part, I think mostly because aside from the little girl, then Ronnie King.
Well, because of Ronnie King.
Yeah, that was the last straw for them. That was like, heck no.
You got how many officers beating a dude?
Yeah. You
know, in which that happens to a gang of homies too.
That was the one that they recorded.
I got homies that they dropped off too in rival neighborhoods.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I have so many stories of the pigs, of stuff that has gone on with me.
Some people would say that's victim mentality.
They'll say, what else can you say? What else can you say?
Apparently you can't say that. Apparently nobody can be a victim.
It's because they haven't been through that stuff. They may not have grown up like it or whatever, or they were bullied just like the cops.
Yeah.
The cops are first to say that, hey, well, do this, or why don't you do better? Yeah. Well, why don't you help do better? You know, why don't you help create a business? You're right here trying to enforce policy with your little baton and stuff like that, but you're not really helping the community by handing out a couple of stickers to the kids. Yeah. You think that's helping? No, that isn't helping.
Nope.
To showing up to a domestic violence situation and having to take one person because that's your protocol when both of them were just arguing. How about talk to that person?
Exactly.
Maybe give somebody a hug or something. You know, give them some advice, but they don't do that. They go prejudging you.
Yeah, pretty much.
You're guilty till you're found innocent, not innocent till you're found guilty.
That's so true. Somebody said Cameron.
Yeah, Cameron. That was his name. That what they called him Milk. Milk or what they call him something. Milk or they call him Milk or something like that. Not that pendejo Milk 74. That's another idiot.
That guy's a weirdo.
I know, man.
Okay, all right. Then we went on that topic long enough.
Yeah. My bad. We're gonna take calls right now because I wanted you guys to wanted you guys to chime in and I want to give you guys a voice. You know, this platform is for you guys.
I don't even know how we went there. Brad Pitbull already called it. He said, "Great episode."
I appreciate it, Brad.
Government username says, does pre-2000 music have more substance than today's music? To me, it feels like music today has no more soul.
Definitely.
You know, I'm glad he said that because you said something that you want to...
Definitely.
You like 90s music so much more than...
Yeah. The majority I listen to is 90s music. If anybody says that, oh, rap today is good, it's only because you like the beat. You like the instrumental. Yeah. That's the majority of it because what these rappers are doing is, first of all, they're not living the life that they're portraying to be. The tattoos are all for show. You know, 90s rap came with a story. They were telling a story. You know what I mean? Like a gang of Tupac songs. You know.
Well, I mean, nobody from NWA was from a gang except for Eazy-E, right?
Well, yeah, Eazy-E. You know.
But for the most part, every other rapper
shout out to Cali Park.
Every other rapper was just, you know, writing a story like Ice Cube. Well, Ice Cube was
Yeah,
writing the
yeah. I
story.
mean, they're good storytellers, you know.
good
But
stories.
that doesn't take away that they actually grew up in the neighborhood.
Oh,
you
yeah,
know?
yeah.
Ice Cube had homies.
Well, they were eyewitness.
Dre had homies. You know, they're witness to the effects of a group of their peers. Um, man, what would I say? A certain group of people bringing the demise to that culture.
Yeah.
You know, and they're seeing all these things happen around them, and they're telling a story. You know what I mean? Brenda had a baby. You know, look at that song. Real mother effing G's. You know, these are real. They were real mother effing G's. You know,
Yeah.
the majority of homies, and now they're not. They're not. There may be out of 10 homies from a barrio, 3 of them are down.
Yeah.
3 of them are with the business. But the majority of them, no, they're not. They're not with the business. And it sucks because if you got 10 homies from back then in the 90s, all 10 of them vatos would be down. Maybe one, maybe not, you know? But the majority of them vatos would be down.
Yeah.
But now since it's all watered down, and you got a bunch of young men that are feminized,
Yep.
in their emotions, they're just acting out and they're all bark, you know? Hey, I'll get that fade, I'll do this and I'll do that, and what I'll do, and they don't do it.
No.
You know?
I think what happened to that one little white kid that he was going viral for calling out. He was like this little white 12-year-old kid or 13-year-old kid.
Oh, the one from up north that dissed the Southerners?
Yeah, and then I guess somebody caught him
at a liquor store, yeah.
And afterwards,
yeah, but look at that kid. Everybody that, I mean, I'm talking about my generation.
Yeah.
You see people like this on the right when a person starts talking.
Yeah.
No lie. Right when a person starts talking, you know, if you ever been through something.
Yeah.
You know, whether it's gang life or you were from a tagging crew back in the day or whatever.
Yeah.
You know if that vato's not with the business.
Yeah.
You know, you could see it in his eyes. You could hear it in his voice.
Yeah.
The first thing is this little kid. He's a kid.
Yeah.
He's a child.
Oh, yeah.
The second thing is he's white.
Yeah.
He's white, and he's listening to all this hype that he's hearing in the music, and he wants to be cool. So he thinks by talking about certain things, the other thing's a gang. He's not a gang member like that.
No.
He's still a child. He hasn't experienced all this stuff.
Yeah, he looks
scared. So if he does get he is gonna be scared.
He looks scared in that video when they caught him.
He's a baby, and luckily, the vato that ran up on him, you know, told him to stay off that internet stuff. He could have ended that little kid's life.
Yeah,
right there.
Yeah, for real.
You know, but he had more brains, you know, to know, hey, this is a kid. You know, this is a kid.
Yeah.
What am I doing?
Now, I don't know. Correct me if anybody knows, but I think OTR was responsible for him. That record label, OTR.
I don't know, but these labels, man, you know, these labels, they would just want to make money, NORBEEZ. They just want to make money, man. They don't care about your livelihood. They care about that check that they're getting. They're managing you into your demise.
Yeah.
That's what they're doing. They're taking out insurance policies on you. Okay, well, first thing, you need to sign this contract, boom, boom, boom. And now we're going to get this insurance policy because in case anything happens to you, you know, you get the amount of the money. And since we're producing all your stuff, we get a good amount of the money.
Yep.
So regardless if you die or not, it doesn't matter because they're going to live off your royalties.
For the most part.
You know?
For the most part.
That sucks.
Dang.
That sucks.
All right, I don't know how we got into that, but we got into that. All right, D199 LN says, thoughts on Texas flooding and Cali fires happening right on 4th of July, America's 249th birthday, which is a Jubilee year. It looks like judgment is coming down on America. Your thoughts?
Yeah, so I don't believe it's judgment coming down. This is all staged by the government. Like, call it what you want. You know, say that it's a conspiracy, whatever. Those floods aren't natural. It's not natural weather. They have weather modification things that they're using to end people's, you know, end people. We'll just say that. Like, it's happening. I don't believe that it's a natural event that's happening. You know what I mean? A lot of people don't know about cloud seeding. A lot of people don't know about the program HARP. If you don't know about it, look up the program HARP and see what that's all about. Learn about weather modification and how they use it to their advantage. If they want a certain group of people, they'll flood them out. They could do that. They could cause a storm. They're playing God. You know?
Yeah. All right, we got Wrinkle Munoz 9208 says 2 questions, Marvelous. What's up, man? Do you think the 90s clothing cholo trends are part of an agenda for ICE to have a reason to target people? Is tattoo ink toxic?
The wait a minute. The first one is the clothes. Is the
Do,
clothes an
do you think
agenda?
the 90s clothing cholo trends are part of an agenda for ICE to have a reason to target
No,
people?
I don't believe it's an agenda. I believe that trends always find their way back, like bell bottoms, you know,
And for the most part, I think you
or
said
like,
that most
you know what
cholos
I
don't
mean?
even look like cholos anymore.
Yeah, most cholos like it's not even about dressing anymore. Back then, like it was like a uniform, you know, that homies would put on. But for the majority, these days you can't even tell a gang member. Like for real, think about it. You know, you probably got cousins that are claiming a neighborhood, or you probably seen dudes on online, on Instagram, TikTok, and they're right there, you know, showing their tattoos. They got their stomach all blasted, and you know a lot of their tattoos are from shops and or tattoos that they haven't earned or whatever, and they're talking all this masa, and you know damn well they haven't lived any heartache, you know.
Mm.
But yeah,
All right.
back in the day, like a homie, I don't know, man. I wish that I could show you a video of how it was. You know, when you walked into the projects, or you would go to certain parties in the barrio. It was that you knew the gang members, man. They were just, you'll get run up on real quick, and if you folded, there ain't no coming back for that one.
Mm. Also, is tattoo ink toxic?
Yeah, the majority of tattoo ink is toxic. Yes.
Mm. Okay, let's see. Hated One says, what do you think of the FBA brothers saying that they're the real natives, indigenous people to this land, and not the natives we see today?
That's a true and a false statement. The truth in that statement is that there's no such thing as black and brown, the separation of it. A certain group of people, hate, and I'll say it like this: Mexicanos or raza, just point blank, period. There's a majority of raza that don't like brothers. They don't like the blacks, straight out, for whatever reason, and there's a certain group of blacks that don't like raza at all. Fine. That's them. But for the majority do want to work together. The majority have come from the same struggle. The majority were from the same tribe. Believe it or not. You don't have to believe it. You could believe that they came from Africa and whoop de whoop. That's a whole nother tribe. When you study, that's a whole nother tribe. That isn't the Negro. That's a Hamite. And for the majority of people that just talking out the side of their neck, they are indigenous to the Americas. They were part of the tribes, So I can't sit here and argue with raza about them being part of the tribes. I can't sit here and argue with blacks and tell them how we're a part of the fold too. It's just their ignorance is gonna take them on the path where they're supposed to go. And for the majority that know that we were both hung on trees, that raza was the first to go under captivity, that just everything that we've been through from the housing projects, we are both going through the same thing for the same damn reason.
Oh, yeah.
We're both going through the same thing.
Did you hear that story
What?
about some guy in I want to say Michigan?
about
They found him. Well, they say he did it to
Oh, from a
himself.
tree?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You heard about that?
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that?
I think those are lies, bro.
That he didn't do it?
I don't
Or
think
that
I
he
don't
did do it?
You know what? I can't say specifically what he did. But for the majority of those cases, what I will say is that is not true. They stage things to happen. They mock us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
and what's crazy about like that situation is that raza don't even know that they used to hang us on trees.
It's interesting.
They
I
don't
think
know that.
last week was the first time.
I showed pictures.
Yeah.
Along with the book on my Instagram live.
There's only been like 2 people that I've heard, bring that up, which is
Yeah.
one is you and one is this other clip that I see from Texas. Some old man talking about it. But recently I saw a young lady actually bringing it up on Instagram. I was like, wow, okay, well, I'm glad that it's catching up that,
Yeah.
that our people did go through that also.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, let's see. 94 Watt M says, can you have 607 Unk as a guest? He be saying a lot of the things that line up with what you believe.
You know what? I don't really do interviews. I wouldn't mind chopping it up with the dude, but he's way out there and he's doing a lot of shit for clout. And I don't entertain stuff like that. You know what I mean? If he's able to have like a civil conversation and not act all wilding out and be serious, then he could sit down with me. But if he's gonna be all with the fucking facial expressions and all with the all the hype piece shit, like I ain't with all that. I'm not with all that.
All right, Bill Gordon said, would you ever fight for what you believe in?
Don't I do that?
Hey.
Let's take calls, NORBEEZ, because we're
Ready?
gonna get, yeah.
All right, guys. We almost got them all. Don't get all right, give me a second. All right, guys, give me a second.
Hey, swim back to Europe that put that comment out there. Swim back to Europe. Have him go pick him up. You pick him up and bring him. And let me see how serious you are.
Is this the number? Is this the number? I don't know. Yes, it is. All right, number is up. If you're
I
trying to give a call.
I appreciate all you guys in the chat. Risky Business, what's up? 805 Plumbing, what's cracking? Zapata,
right.
what's up, homie? Nerdo, P, what's that say? P. Oh, plus he's fucks with voodoo. Yeah, I don't mess with all that shit. Richard, is that how do you pronounce that? Belize.
We're
Appreciate you, homie.
I don't know, but here we go.
Go for it. No block calls.
No block calls. Callers, your name and where you're calling from.
Hi, this is Miguel calling from Minnesota. I don't know if you guys talked about it yet. I just got on here, but what do you guys think about the Mexico City protest going on right now of the American students or something that's going on over there?
Oh, I mean,
you guys, like, I just want to know what your guys' opinion was of that. Or, I haven't seen anything like that happen in a long time.
Yeah, you want to go first?
You know what? I didn't see the specifically one on the schools. I didn't see that. But what are they protesting, bro? If you don't mind me asking, exactly. Like,
yeah, I saw it on. And that's the thing too. They're not I know they're not really putting it on CNN or Fox. It's more like these other news channels. But they're protesting about the underlining thing, of course, has to do with Donald Trump. But basically, they're saying that a lot of these students that are coming to Mexico City are coming to Mexico without visas.
Yeah.
Some of them have visas, but they basically just stay there. They work and basically beginning to like gentrify the area to where like some locals are, that have been there for 60 years are starting to like have a hard time to live there because the prices are going up everywhere.
Oh yeah.
And they were like, they were like destroying buildings, kind of the same thing like the LA riots. They were like destroying buildings everywhere, and they were, do pretty much the same thing. But in Mexico City, I found it fascinating because, that's Mexico. If they're doing that in Mexico, it's like a very, very. I haven't seen anything like this in a long time.
Yeah.
And I thought, what you guys thought about it?
Yeah, so the first thing that I seen about the situation over there was them kicking out people from Honduras and El Salvador and all that, and them protesting that and trying to kick them out. But the whole school thing, I could see where that
it was like huge protest. It was like at the level of like the ones that were going on in LA a couple weeks ago. It was like huge, man. It was like they were like really protesting out there, looting, and some people have opinions. They're not doing the right way, but I guess it starts somewhere. I guess, but
So from what I see is that the schools over there, they don't charge like the states over here, right? You don't get a school loan and all that stuff. You know what I mean? I think they still do pay tuition, don't they? Or do you know about that, NORBEEZ?
You do pay tuition, but for the most part, a lot of schooling now it's more free than before.
It's way lower than the States,
before
what
you
I'm
did
saying.
before.
you know?
Oh, yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you could get the opportunity to learn, and actually, you know what? And I'll say like this, you learn more over there.
Oh yeah.
You learn
You
more,
do.
and when you go to school in like India or Hindi, like over there, when you learn more, you become a doctor faster. Like you could get your occupation way
I think anywhere in the U.S. you
way
probably
quicker.
learn more.
Over here is like the longest term to get your master's or your A and all that.
Yeah.
You know, but as far as the gentrification thing, heck yeah, that was a bound to happen, bro, because you got all these,
Yeah.
you know, and I'm not gonna even say raza that's going over there, moving to Mexico City, you know, but there's a gang of other ethnicities that are taking over those communities over there, and they're making American money.
Mm.
You know, they're making and
Right.
they're living it up, bro. Like if I were to like I could have my YouTube channel. I have my YouTube channel right now, and I make so much money. I mean, not equivalent to all whatever everybody else is making, because I don't do my show like that. I'm not a content creator. I'm just here for like trying to educate. But if I went and did all this content, and I wanted to go to the Philippines and I wanted to go to Thailand, each of the videos that I did would pay for a luxurious pad. I could eat whatever I wanted, you know, making a minuscule amount of money. You know, like say I got paid, you know, maybe $100 a video. I could live my best life over there still, you know, and especially in Mexico. Imagine how the value's lower over there, bro. And they're right there in the city. It's like if somebody were to move into your city, bro, and you start seeing things change, and they're right there having a good time drinking wine, but you grew up in poverty right there. It's like you're gonna look at them like, damn, dude, what's going on, man? That's where my dad and mom used to go, and now they can't even go there because they raised the prices because these people are here now, and now the business wants to make more money, and now they have to pay more taxes because, you know, they're right here buying up all the properties and all the homes, and now the street value is going up, and now they need to hire more police now. And now they, you know, and now they need more protection from the cartels, because I mean more protection so the cartels won't go in there, so they won't get robbed. So they need to hire the federal police, and so people need to take all that into account. You know what I mean? Everything, it's like a domino effect. Everything starts changing.
Damn. Yeah. For the most part, I mean,
Yes.
the thing is, look,
sorry.
this is what I love about our people. We're gonna break shit. We're gonna break shit because that's how we've been doing it for years. We had the Mexican-American War. We had the Independence War. We had the Battle of Puebla. We've always had to fight to get our rights and our respect. I mean, there hasn't been a time in history where we haven't been doing that, and it's crazy because, you know, we kind of look bad. Some people are gonna try to make us look bad because we're protesting and breaking shit here, and we're protesting and breaking shit there. But that's because, look, we're trying to get everything we have stolen from us back. And you guys don't think that we gotta fight for it? You guys don't think that we're gonna have to fight for this? All these things that got taken from us, and we're fighters. That's just how we are. I mean, I give credit to our people for creating democracy in France, because we were the first one to defeat their military. Nobody defeated Napoleon until they decided to fight against Mexicans.
Hey, caller, I appreciate your call, homie. Thank you for calling, bro. I send my respects to you, man.
Definitely.
Yeah, wonderful. Thank you, guys. Have a great one.
Hey, you too,
man.
bro.
Appreciate it.
NORBEEZ, you're about to go out and away.
I love it, man.
I'm gonna push.
I love it. That's just who we are, bro. We're warriors. We're fighters, and it's time to fight for our shit back. There has never been a better time than now to fight for what's ours.
Simon que sí.
We have the numbers.
94M. What's
we're
up,
strong.
homie?
We're educated. It's our time. We are awakened, but for the most part, I was gonna say something else too.
What were you gonna say?
No block collars.
No block collars.
I guess something we were talking about too.
And
gentrification.
Yeah.
I remember when they tried to do that in Boyle Heights. They tried to open like a coffee shop right there. Did the exact same thing. Broke the coffee shop.
But they're doing it though.
Broke
doing it. They're just starting off from the other side of the bridge with the art district.
Yeah, they're gonna stay there.
No, they're not.
They're gonna stay there.
No, they're not.
They don't cross.
They're gonna cross. They're gonna cross just like they're taking over Highland Park.
They tried to cross like 6 years ago. They still haven't been able to cross.
Okay, you want to make a bet right now? Within the next 3 years, bro, you're gonna see all kinds of hipsters.
Those hipsters and those cholos that do their music video on that side, they're always gonna stay on that side. They are not gonna go into Boyle Heights. They know for a fact that they walk into Boyle Heights.
We'll see. I'm glad this video is being made.
It's over.
I'm glad this video is being made because you're gonna eat those words.
You're gonna have those hipsters and cheapsters and cholos from everywhere else do their music videos there.
All right.
But for the most part, yeah.
Callers, the lines are open.
Lines are open. But I just remember the gentrification. I'm like, wait a minute, they tried to do that in Boyle Heights. Nope. They did that in Highland Park. They did that for sure over there. That place
have you been to Highland Park recently?
Yeah. It's nothing but like craft stores, milk stores.
Hey, have you ever driven by the Rose Bowl and seen all those mansions right there? That are by
they're huge.
Man,
those are
they got some bad pads.
Those are small compared to the ones that are up the hill. The ones that are up the hill are way bigger. We're talking about like 2-3 blocks big, and it all belongs to like one person. It's fucking crazy. But for the most part, lines are open if you want to call. Other than that, then
read one of the other comments.
One of the other comments. Let me go back to it. Oh, actually, you know what? Oh, I totally forgot that we actually set a topic for this. Now, 4th of July just passed, right? Mm-hmm. I think the biggest stories that we've seen on social media are...
Oh, man, you're going to bring them up. Go ahead.
I mean, it's the first thing we put on the title, which was blown hands.
Yeah.
Wow. So
that
many
sucks,
people.
Huh?
As far as I know...
the dude that called out the most people for a fade.
Dang.
It was all up on no jumper and whoop, and I'll squabble this and I'll do that and do that and
I think he threatened somebody on the show too.
He had that story. He had that story where he was busted recently and he got a vegetable and he did something with it to somebody else.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not gonna say what because it's pretty graphic. But
sounds like it.
He was bragging about that part.
Yeah.
So it sucks, man. People are making fun of him. But really, that's sad, man. That's sad that dude lost his fingers. But
yeah, bro, I'm like, dang, I wouldn't know.
God will humble you. I think that's a humbling experience for him to do all the.
Do you think it'll humble him?
Yeah, I mean,
or are you just hopeful that it would humble him?
Well, I mean, it better humble him. It better humble him. If he comes back and still yapping out the mouth. I mean...
well, I say that because, I know guys that have been, like, shot. And that hasn't stopped them from doing the same thing.
Yeah, but they didn't lose a whole hand.
I mean, they probably lost a lung. They probably lost...
well, I don't know.
They probably lost it.
He did it. He at this point, they got hit or whatever. But he did this to himself.
I think he's going to go harder.
You think so?
I think he's going to go harder. I think he's going to call out twice the fades. With one arm and just tell him I don't need two hands. I think he's gonna sell it.
Yeah,
I think he'll sell it.
I think who's gonna try and sell it is No Jumper.
Oh, 100%.
I think they're gonna try to sell it.
Oh yeah, that's all he knows.
He's gonna be asking for a check to do that interview.
He'll probably do a fight with him, like an actual paid fight where somebody could fight him.
I seen that video. I posted that video on my Instagram of that dude Aaron the plumber. That dude is clowning him, man. I challenged him to a handball tournament. Like, damn, dog, that's sad, man. He apologized for it afterwards, though.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, he apologized.
So, caller, your name and where are you calling from tonight?
Hey, what's up, Marvelous? I'm glad you took that fucking mask off.
What the hell?
Oh, wow.
Hey, that's funny, man. That where did they get that voice from?
I have no idea. But he definitely went high pitch on that one.
That's funny.
But I have his number. But damn it. Okay, so the guy apologized, which he should have. It's kind of messed up. I see a lot of AI videos where like he's talking and then he just goes, bah, I was
They're
like,
calling him
"Hey."
four nubs. They're saying that his hand went from a hand to a mitt, like because he uses that glove for his neighborhood stuff.
Yeah.
They're just like going in on that dude. I feel bad for him, man.
I feel bad for him.
And then
too,
they
man.
said that dude, that dude that they brought up in
Yeah.
the comment, that
Yeah.
that dude had put a hex on him or something like that. So I don't know, but the crazy thing is that when he was on No Jumper, he was talking about his hand or something that happened with his bone or
Yeah.
something like that, and he goes, "Yeah, this and that." And he's trying to explain it,
Well,
you know, but it was like, "Dang, dude,
he doesn't have to worry about that no more.
I don't know, man." Anyways, we ain't got no calls.
For the most part, no.
All right,
not,
go to the
not
next
yet.
one. Go to the next what you call it? Comment.
All right. Let me go back. Give me a second. Yeah, but I definitely think he's gonna go harder over now.
Callers, if anybody wants to call in, or whatever. It's Jose. I live across from. Hey, what's up, Zayday? Hey, Jose. I hope you're doing good, homie. Dang, I remember that. You remember back in the day, I used to cause a muck out there, huh? Hey, tell me, Jose.
Oh, okay.
Tell me I didn't have my block on lock. Ooh.
All right. Caller, your name and where are you calling from tonight?
Hello, NORBEEZ. What's up, Marvin?
Brad
Hey,
Pitbull.
what's up, bro? How you doing?
Good. Thank you for having another live stream.
For sure.
For addressing the control that we have, the control that's over, the lower income or even the lower middle class people. And
For sure, man.
Yeah.
just one little thing that I do, because I'm a baller on a budget.
Hey,
I'm a
that's right.
baller on a budget. Hey, you should make some T-shirts like that, bro.
That's right.
For sure. Hey, and then Norby, save the number because I got some other old shirts that I have with my old designs on there, and I'll add them to the show Marvelous to get it.
All right.
Okay.
I just did it right now.
But one thing that I do is when I shop at Target, because it's a corporation, and this is what I'm doing. I don't recommend people do it. I'm telling you what I do. So I'll buy my Tide or my shampoo or my dial soap, and as long as you don't use more than 50% of it, you can return it for full price.
Wait, where?
So,
Where?
Is that for
at
sure?
Target?
At
They have a
Target.
60 to 90 day return policy.
Hey, are you being for real? For real?
I'm not being serious.
Use the system, people. Use the system.
That's crazy. I never knew that.
So I like for the Tide, where I used to wash my dog blankets, I'll take out like 1/3 and then I'll return it and be like, hey, I'm just allergic to the allergy, so I'm gonna get my money back. I returned the dog shampoo, the hand soap. These are all chemicals owned by Johnson and Johnson
Yeah.
or Procter and Gamble. So fuck them,
Mm.
They were open during the pandemic while the businesses I work with, we were not essential. So
Yeah.
I'm just getting my money back for the COVID times,
Hey,
there you go.
hey, you know what's crazy, bro? I want to tell you because you reminded me of it right now.
Yeah.
Back in the day,
Yeah.
this was some years ago. I seen a lady on YouTube, I think it was, or it was on TV. They were doing some documentary on her, and they went into her pad, and she had a gang of soap, bro, like all new bottles. She was showing all the stuff. She had to get a storage for everything that she has that these companies have sent her, whether it was Sunny Delight, her favorite Charmin toilet paper she had bundles and bundles and bundles, Sunkist, the orange juice. She had Kool-Aids, like boxes of Kool-Aids. And what she does is she goes, one day I wrote to it was one product that she liked, I think. And she wrote, I guess it has the address or the email, whatever you could write and send them a message. And she goes, I just thanked them. I thanked them and I said, hey, I use your product. Thank you. And they sent her like a couple of months supply of that product. And so she started doing it with everything that she buys. She started writing the corporations, and all the corporations started sending her stuff, her clothing, her kids' shoes. They would send her, oh yeah, well, what are your kids, what are their sizes, and what kind of soap do you use? And here, well, why don't you try this? And she had boxes, bro, bottles of drinks. She had waters from everywhere. She was writing everybody and getting free stuff.
Yeah, no, I believe that a penny saved is a penny earned, and
Hey.
right now, no one cares. We all got to look out for our own budget because no one else will. So
Yeah.
if we can save a buck here or get a sample here or let each other know about for little things like that. But yeah, that's true on the target thing, and yeah, definitely
That's a good tip right there.
samples are a good thing. But that's it. Just how to share that, and then one other thing that I'm doing is because I think that there's a distraction with all the ICE and the Iran war that just passed. Is that I think a new Fed chairman is about to be put in power by Trump, and what's happening right now is with the gold and silver, they're going up in value. That doesn't mean that gold and silver are going up. That just means that the dollar is losing its value. So. Anyone that could put $38 to the side, 39 a week, buy an ounce of silver in the jewelry district of downtown, and that's where I go sometimes. So
yeah. All right.
That's it, just to stay up a little bit. But that's it. That's what I had to share. Yes, Target. Don't use more than 50% of it, and go return it for a full cash refund. I pay in cash, so that way there's nothing left of
no traces, huh?
digital ID, no ID.
Hell yeah.
And I'm just walk off.
All right.
So
Hey, I appreciate you calling, homie.
Thanks
Thank
for
you.
those
Send our
gems.
respects always, dog. Thank you for
Definitely,
watching
man.
too, homie.
Totally.
All right.
Appreciate you.
All right, thank you. All right, good night.
Night.
Damn, I never knew that. I didn't know that.
I didn't either, man. I'm gonna have to try, but I'm gonna make sure.
What's up? Hey, do you
Make
know
sure
do
to
you-
pay cash. Don't
do you
pay
know
with your
any-
card.
You know any life hacks, NORBEEZ?
Life hacks. Nope.
No, none.
I mean, aside, do your own oil changes.
Oh, okay.
That saves
That's
a
not
lot of
hack.
money.
That's not a hack, but
I mean, define hack.
I mean, like that lady writing to her the corporation. Go ahead, answer it. Go ahead. My bad.
Yeah, don't pay with your card. You know any life hacks?
Caller, can you put your DV down? Caller.
Yes. Yes.
All right. Your name and where you calling from tonight?
My name is Ram, and I'm calling from Houston, Texas.
All right. What's up, man?
I just want to call in and say and thank y'all. You have a good show. I've been watching it.
Thank you.
I appreciate that, man. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
You have any opinions, comments, or anything on any of the topics that we've been talking about? What happened? Don't tell me you dropped it, NORBEEZ.
No, he's still there. Caller. Caller. He's still there.
Call him back. Damn, there you go. The first one you dropped,
Dun,
NORBEEZ.
dun, dun.
We're gonna call you back right now, bro. My bad.
Let's see if he picks up.
Oh, he's not gonna pick up. It's all right. Just hang up.
Too many dials.
My bad, bro. Lost your call. But if you can't call back,
What were we talking about right before that?
we're talking about Oh shoot, go ahead.
Caller, your name, where you calling from tonight?
My name's Anthony Sanchez. I've been on here before. I'm 27. I'm calling from Ontario. So one thing I wanted to discuss is, it's a question is if, because I feel like for me, when it comes to the culture, there's a lot of, of course, love for it and a lot of pride in it, but also it came with a lot of negativity, and it, gave me some anger growing up. And then seeing the way people are about it now, I feel like they shed light on it, but only on the pretty side of it, but don't show that the pretty side of it comes with a lot and that there is an ugly side of it. And pretty much every negative consequence you can think of when it comes to whatever, Chicano or gang culture, I've experienced, from family being incarcerated on both sides of the bullet, whatever, drug addiction and all this stuff on Instagram or the internet. People will show, the nice clothes, the oldies, drawings, but all of that comes with a price, and the way we live turned it into something negative, like oldies. I love them. They're beautiful. But when I heard an oldie, it was either right before I was going to do something, while I was doing something, or after I just got done doing something wrong.
For real,
Whether it
man.
was to myself,
You said the truth right now. Go ahead.
whether it was to myself or whether it was to somebody else, you know, or I watched my mom and dad get loaded or, you know, drunk with those in the background. We turned it into something negative. The beautiful art, the drawings, I used to get them from prison my whole life, every birthday, from a family member incarcerated. But what were the costs of those drawings? Those drawings was somebody else that was Raza losing their life, and my uncle, his life stopping right then and there in that moment. You know, losing two people that could have been something on both sides. And it's like, were those drawings from the pen worth it? Like, nah, I would have traded them any day to get that man back and to, you know, my uncle being somebody a long time ago. You know, and those prison visits and everybody wants to post pictures in prison. I used to hate having to leave him there and seeing my grandma cry that we had to leave him there. You know, like all this stuff comes with pain. And then there's girls dancing around like their man dressing right. But these OG ladies aren't telling these little girls what they went through in that lifestyle. Some of them get trained. Some of them get ran a train on to join these hoods and dress that part. They leave that out. Some of them are in domestic violence relationships, or their man ODs. They got to raise a kid by themselves. Some of them get their kids taken away. That's why all these kids dress the part and glorify it, because people leave that shit out. And that's what bothers me. Like me, I never got the city I'm from tatted on me. Why? Because I only loved about 10% of it. Everybody else in the same city I'm from, I hated and wanted to hurt, even though they look just like me and listen to the same music as me, you know, whatever. So all this stuff, I feel like there's a lot of hypocrite stuff in it, and these kids would not be trying to play this part if people would just tell them the truth on what this shit is really like and what it comes with. And also, a lot of OGs get mad youngsters don't listen to them. I'm telling you something right now, Marv, this shit used to piss me off when the OG would come around and he would tell me about the shit he used to do. It's like, nah, tell me how you became a plumber. Tell you how you became an artist. Tell me how you became this. I don't want to hear these stupid-ass hood stories. I've heard them my whole life. There's nothing I can tell you, and there's nothing you could tell me that we have not heard before. This shit's been going on before you were here for generations. All that's different is maybe the way people dress and the music they listen to. The struggle is the same. Every hood is the same. Every hood's got a snitch. Every hood's got an addict. Every hood got someone that turns to religion. Every hood got someone doing life. It's all the same.
You're right.
So I feel like people need to teach some knowledge with the power they have and these platforms they have, instead of a bunch of bullshit. Because kids are coming down the same path thinking it's cool and have no idea what it's like to go through this shit, and it sucks, dude. And it sucks.
You're right.
I wanna say something real quick, bro, with all respect. I think you need to make a channel. I think you should make I mean,
just to put that out there,
or do something, bro, because you know I hear nothing but wisdom from you, and it sucks hearing all that stuff. You're right. You know, the prison letters and going to go see my mom at Silver Brand, and you know, being not even be able to be in her arms. You know what I mean? Have to stare at her from the other side of the gate, like that. It does suck, you know. And we grow up and we talk about it like if it was a happy thing, and when we meet somebody or a girl and we're like, yeah, I used to go visit my mom, but man, it sucked being alone at night and not having my mom in Christmas, my dad not being there, and or me not even, like, I used to call my dad by his name, Leonard. I never called him dad. I called him by his name, and all the older homies from my loyal would be like, hey, your dad was this and your dad was that, but all I seen was at the gato at the pad. Like, I didn't see that.
Yeah, I went through that too. That shit used to piss me off. Hey, your dad's solid. But when you see him at home, it's a whole different story.
Yeah,
Trust me,
you
I know.
Like, we're not solid for the people we need to be solid for. We're trying to impress.
Exactly.
We're trying to impress the next gang member and show him how down we are, instead of really showing our kids how down we are and how much we love them. We talk about, oh, I love my homies. I got love for my homies. Do you love your kids? Do you love your mom enough to be home with her? Do you love your grandparents enough to go buy them groceries or carry the groceries home for them? Do you love them? Have you ever given them gas money? Instead of them remember my grandpa used to give all the little primos, all the grandkids money. Here, mijo, here's $20, here's $40. You know, the older kids, his kids, here's a couple of $100. But did they ever give him anything? All this money that he struggled to make building houses, created a home, established a home environment for all the kids, and they just took and took and took. And Christmas presents or whatever he bought them. And I remember Christmas would come around, and I was a little kid seeing this. I remember I would get so mad because they would give him that stupid can of popcorn that had three different versions of popcorn, the cheese popcorn, the regular, and the caramel. Or they would give him the dumb little can of cookies or maybe a scarf. And I'd be like, damn, man, my grandpa, I go to work with my grandpa. I watch him do all this stuff, and that's what you're gonna give him when he's giving you a couple of $100, or he's worried about if you ate. Do you ever come over here and take him to go eat? Like, and it's just going, like, you know, we're trying to do all the things for the wrong reasons, bro. And you said there's nothing I could say. You said it all. Like, that wasn't even a question for me, bro. You said everything perfectly, and people need to wake up, homie, and we need more people like you to share your voice.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, because we got a lot of these people that want to keep spreading this romanticizing.
Yeah, you're right. My
vision.
son, I love oldies.
that.
I love oldies, bro. I have my oldie show. I love oldies. I feel like I'm one of the biggest oldie collectors ever. I have so many oldies. But my son, one of my sons, hates oldies because of what he went through on his mom's side with oldies. And I'm like, no, mijo, you need to create new memories. You know, it's not just about all that crying and drama going on wherever you were at, but it's about creating new memories. You know what I mean? Oh, Dad, I don't want to listen to it.
We did that.
Yeah.
Yeah. We did, and same with all the Aztec art, the calendars. Now look at it. If somebody wants to get a tattoo of that, they got to put in some work or hurt one of our own people to get it. Something beautiful, something sacred, something spiritual. Like, we do this kind of stuff all the time.
Yeah,
man.
You know?
Yeah. Hey, I appreciate your call, bro. Thank you, man.
Definitely,
I send my
man.
respects. And hey, think about making a channel, man, or something. If you need a shout out, you barely want to make one, I'll give you one, bro. I'll give you a shout out.
All right. Well, if I could ever get on or something like that, you know, I hesitate because, like I said, you know, my family and the lifestyle, and I know there's both families that have been hurt behind my family, and I know it's a small world, so, you know, I hesitate.
Hey, don't hesitate, bro, ever to call this channel, homie.
Definitely.
You have a voice right here, bro. And if you ever want to make your own and you need help or whatever making your own, let us know, bro. And any suggestions we could give you, we got you, bro.
Definitely.
Thank you. I appreciate you, man.
Appreciate it.
All right.
All right.
Man, he said everything.
No, because he's right though, man. You got a lot of these platforms that love to romanticize it. You know, they want to keep the American Me thing going.
Yeah,
and some of them even quote the movie. I mean,
well, we're all quoting movies. We're all quoting Blood In, Blood Out, and you know, sorry, no tortillas, but dang, hey, sometimes we didn't have tortillas. Or, you know, like a Chicano U-turn. Yeah, I still make those today.
Caller, your name and where you calling from tonight?
El hermano Stockton.
Hey, what's up, man?
What's up? Shout out to hermano Stockton.
That's right.
Amen. I appreciate it, family. Hey, I got a quick question, brother. So, I know, like, we all know, and we all came up, like, being taught that, you know, that the woman carrying a child is precious and it's valuable, and I agree. But like, and this is like, people are probably gonna like judge this question or probably tell me it's common sense. But I always like wonder, brother, like, because like when I look at my pops and like him and my mom's having me, like, and like years go by, and even if they've separated or whatever, like why is it, brother, that our pops always say that, oh, like, that's always going to be, no matter how many women I meet in my lifetime, pops, he'll always say, like, oh, that's always going to be my first love. Like, what is it about, like, when a woman carries our child, like, what is it about us that just like bonds us to them, brother? Like, what do you guys think?
You mean bonds a child to his mother, or bonds your dad to your mom?
I think it's talking about the thing you talk about, soul bonding.
Oh, so
yeah, like your dad, like your dad to your mom, because I'm the same way, brother. Like me and me and my girl, like we had our first daughter in 2021.
Right.
And but it's just like, it's crazy, man. Like I just can't, like, even when she and I, we've like bumped heads or had like disagreements, we always like, we just like, that's like my best friend. But what is it about that just like, what is it about a child that just brings the bond closer or stronger, brother?
You know what, bro? I mean, of course it's a soul tie, but there's just that one and I think it's true, bro, that one female that you just bond, and you don't necessarily have to have a kid from a woman to bond with her like that. It's just her spirit, man. And I feel like, and it's gonna sound kind of weird, but I feel like you probably met before, you know. I feel like you probably knew her in your other lifetime. You knew her. You guys know each other, and I feel like that. I think like that, and it kind of sounds weird, but I feel like everybody that we meet, we knew them before. Like they were part of our life before. I knew NORBEEZ before he came into this Taco Bell body.
Hey,
you know, I knew him somewhere. You know,
are you saying that because we didn't escape the firmament?
No, I'm not. You don't know.
Oh,
you're not understanding NORBEEZ. But I'm saying, you know, I feel like everybody that we cross paths with, that we're getting another chance and another chance to make things right with that person. Or help them in some way, or them help us in some way. I feel like, you know, because we all come from a certain seed from our fathers, right?
Yeah.
And if we do, then all those people were close together at one point.
Yeah.
And they've just been spreading out like branches on a tree, you know? But we keep crossing each other's paths. We keep interacting with each other. And there's something that some kind of connection that we're supposed to make. And then some people we've bonded before, you know, whether it be that woman, you know, we bonded with her and she has an understanding for us. She's the one that you could be married right now, homie. You could be married right now, and if God forbid anything happened to you, there's that one person. If it's not her, there's that one person that you want there in the room to say goodbye to. That one person that it would mean the world to you, homie. If you and she knows it too. She might be in a whole nother relationship. I'm not saying that's your case. I'm just saying she might be in a whole nother relationship, but she knows deep down inside that she either feels that she was meant to be with you, or she feels that, hey, maybe it wasn't meant this time, but it'll happen next time. Because some people say that maybe our next time, we'll meet up in our next lifetime. I believe that to be true. Yeah. I believe that to be a fact. You know, it sounds weird, smoked out, whatever anybody wants to call it, but I do believe that you when you open up to somebody, not only in confiding in them about your personal life, but you open a spiritual door to them. And that spiritual door, that spirit never leaves, bro. That door is, you know?
Man, yeah, because like Marvelous and Norbert, because I've known girls in the past, right?
Yeah.
Like 12, 13, 14, 15 years ago, brother, and years to go by, and man, I had to like fight, man, to break that soul tie, you know?
Yeah.
But it's like, man, I didn't understand, like, because I've known so many like beautiful girls in my life, man, but it's just, it wasn't until like I became a pops, like I became a dad, and I had my daughter, that I understood like the value and just like, man, how precious a woman is, brother. Like, man, they truly like have our backs, and they defend us, you know. And like, man, like I always tell my boy, I would share anybody, man, who has a woman, like, man, that's gonna be like when the whole world's going insane, like that's your best friend. I'm not your best friend, like nobody else will be there for you, man. But that's your best friend right there, man. And but I just had to ask that question.
Yeah, women could do a lot. There's a story in the Bible, bro, and I don't mean to bring up the Bible because I sound like a preacher sometimes. But there's a story in the Bible. I forgot her name, but she was a beautiful Hebrew woman. She was so beautiful, and what happened was it was one of the times where Israel had went into captivity, and she seen that all the men You know, it had taken their strength. You know, their what do you call it? And that wind's messing me up, huh?
Yeah.
Wherever you're at, homie. If you're, I think you're outside. But their spirit had been like affected by it, bro, and they felt like they couldn't. They were never gonna be able to come out of that captivity. They were never gonna be able to win the battle, bro. And what she did is she used her beauty to her advantage, and the king, their opposition, their enemy. Man, I wish I remember the name. I can't remember it right now.
Ooh,
She used her beauty.
Somebody said Esther in the live chat.
Oh, was it Esther? She used her beauty to entice, I think it was the king, right? And that king sent for her, and she went up there, and she ended up chopping that dude's head off, and she came down with his head and brought it to the Hebrew men and told him, "Look it, I've done what I had to do. You go do what you have to do now as a man, you know, and take your power back, you know." And she showed them, you know, and I thought that was beautiful, you know, because sometimes we do need our women to back us up, you know, especially when we're not around, especially when we're not there.
Yeah.
We need them, and we feel that when you become one with a woman, you feel her energy, you know, such as she feels yours. She knows when you've been with another person, or she knows when your thoughts are not with her, and the same thing, you know, when something's aggravating her. You know the way she stares, and it's our form of telepathy that they don't teach us either, that we got. You know, we know.
Yep.
We know that, but hey, I appreciate your call, homie. I don't want to be all long-winded on this and sound all, you know, biblical, you know, but hey,
I appreciate you guys, man.
Thank you, man.
Hey,
Appreciate you, man.
Have a good one, homie.
Have a good one, man.
All right.
All right, brother. All right.
Shout out to the live chat, man.
Shout out to the
while
live
you're
chat.
having your conversation,
They're clowning me.
They're
or what?
roasting the shit out of me.
Oh, you?
Yeah.
Or they change your name to Esther or what?
No.
Oh,
Some of them are not that creative, but the funny ones are definitely the creative ones. So shout out to the chat. But yeah, I mean, that's why Jace Brown has that song, right? This is a man's world. To say that one part. Caller, your name, where are you calling from tonight?
Jay, South Texas.
Jay from South Texas.
South Texas. What's up, Jay?
What's up, fellas? Buenas noches.
Buenas noches.
What's up, Marvelous? I just wanted to
Wait, Jay. Sorry to interrupt.
What's up?
Did you and Lattice coordinate? Because he just showed up in the chat as soon as you called.
Come on, let me find out. You know we braced it, so I don't know. You got me thinking now.
What's that, Jay? What did you want to say today?
Yeah. Oh yeah. So I just wanted to touch on something that Marvelous spoke on or mentioned earlier when he said that that black people are also natives to the Americas. Is that correct?
That's what I said.
You want to explain that a little bit more? I've never heard that.
So if you go back to tribes and stuff like that, they were actually part of. I mean, and the thing that messes us up, bro, is the whole Atlantic slave trade thing. The whole thing that Africans were brought over here, which is not true. Indigenous natives that were dark, melanated were taken out of the Americas. They were taken out of the Americas. So that's a big thing. And then the other separation that they get us with is the whole black, the whole word black, the word black. When we're brown, we're brown. You're brown. I'm brown. NORBEEZ is just a little bit browner than me.
Hey,
would he be black? You know,
because I'm blacker than black.
Because you're blacker than black. You know what I mean? All these words of separation. I don't know if it was you, bro, that brought it up before, but was I think you called me out on the word paisa. Was it you? Was it him?
Might have been.
Well, maybe.
You know, it's like we use we use these words of separation. You know what I mean? And it's not them overpowering us and they were here first, because that's not true either. It's not that they were here first or nothing like that. When you look into biblical history and the real migration, we were together. We were called the Southern and Northern tribe. That's what I'm getting at. So when you look at the migrations of tribes and stuff, you know, whether it be the Inca or Maya or Mexica or whatever,
yeah,
they're in our hieroglyphs. They're painted in our stone along with us. So how would they be separate from us? Did they come here? Did they come here from Africa? My bad, bro. I'm gonna let you say my bad.
No.
Did they come here? Should we believe that they came here from Africa and then the Mexica? Oh, let me add this to the wall next to our people. Let me scribe this into the stone. Let me describe let me scribe their thick hair. You know, their braids coming down. You know, let me make a Olmec head, and you know, and then separate all of us all the time. What if it's true that we're not a separate people? What if it's true that it's just the lack of melanin in your body due to the phenol of the mother? What if that's true?
Yeah. No. A lot of things can be true, and me personally, the reason that I respectfully disagree with you is just because I go back to the story of creations of different people, right?
Okay.
And so, right, like for me, right, like black people, you know, they did bring them from Africa, you know what I mean? And they have their story of creation back in Africa. I couldn't tell you what country, right? But just the continent of Africa. I believe that's where their story of creation begins, right? Just like ours, the Aztecas, we have our own story of creation that is of the land, right? Of the land that we live on now.
Right.
And Europeans have theirs, and so on and so forth, right? The Chinese and as you look at different groups of people, they all have their story of creation, but sometimes I believe what confuses us is that Bible, bro, because we'll quote from that Bible, and I know, you know, like what you believe that's actually our story, right?
Yeah.
And so I know when you reference the Bible, I know that it's because you reference it in two different ways. You reference it, one, saying that those are our stories, but then sometimes you reference it just from the Hebrews, right? Hebrews, Israelites, and all of that. So I believe, you know, they have their own story of creation. But that was interesting that I didn't know that you disagreed with Europeans bringing slaves over to the continent of the Americas. I didn't know that.
Yeah. So
what does NORBEEZ think?
Go ahead, NORBEEZ.
As far as what?
Go ahead, NORBEEZ. Tell us from your perspective, bro.
As far as what?
As far as the Atlantic slave trade, do you believe that Africans were brought over here?
I mean, they could have been brought from Africa. They could have been brought from Australia. Because let's not forget, the Australians do have the Aborigines, which are black. The interesting part about that, those blacks, is that their DNA is actually different from Africans. Not a lot, but they are definitely different as far as DNA. So, but that being said, I mean, like Jay, I would definitely, in a sense, I would relate more to you as saying that I go by the story of creation by which everybody knows as the Mexica, the story of the five sons.
Right. Yeah.
And I would definitely say that would probably be the most I believe in. Now, I wouldn't be able to say if they created, you know, a variety of melanated people. But I would say they did create a variety of different height people. I mean, it's even in the story. They had short people, they had tall people. Who's to say they had darker one than they had lighter ones?
So let me ask you this. My bad, NORBEEZ. I don't mean to cut you off.
Yeah.
But if you were to get with a lighter chick than you, and you were to have a baby,
yeah,
would that baby come out lighter?
Yeah.
And if that baby was lighter, and that baby went and got with a lighter woman, and they had a baby, would that baby come out lighter?
Wait, say that again.
If you had a son, bro, and your son, because of your girl that you got with, because of the phenol, right? He came out lighter. So your son grows up a little bit lighter than you.
Yeah.
And he went and got with the girl and had a kid, and they came out lighter because of her complexion.
Yeah.
Does that change him from being from your tribe?
No.
Exactly.
Oh, I see where you're going with that.
Exactly.
I mean, it's vice versa.
Exactly.
I could be with a native girl that's probably darker than me, and then my kid will come out darker than me.
You go to my dad. My dad, pictures of my dad. He was darker than me.
Yeah.
Like he's like your complexion, I think. And then my grandfather was darker than you.
Yeah.
And then his dad was darker than him.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But when you study biology and you get into the genome and the phenome of the biology part of it, it makes sense. Like, dang, you know, there's people that you wouldn't even think that would be black that look albino white almost.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I mean, there are
like different.
There are
like,
real
you know,
people that have a lot of black DNA, but look white. Look like white, like a white person, like a regular white person, not an albino.
But see, it's not even a black DNA.
But
it's an indigenous DNA.
But that's a trip because that happened in a court case where they found out that this dude that looked white, 100% white, was actually black. And I don't know, that just came to my mind right now talking about that.
Look at a perfect example, Bob Marley.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Bob Marley.
Yeah.
People associated him being a black dude, right? But no, he's white.
He's white.
His dad is straight. He looks just like his dad.
Yeah.
You know?
You know what's interesting? I just recently found out too that the what do you call it? The placenta actually comes more from the father.
What do you mean more? All of it.
Oh, well, yeah, all of it.
Didn't I tell you that on this show?
Yeah, and then
what do you mean you found out?
Yeah,
you act like you're doing some study while you're not here.
I don't remember.
Like, Jay, you hear this guy right here, Jay? I'm sorry, bro.
Yeah, I heard him. Yeah.
I saw an actual like video with graphics.
I'm glad you
it makes
finally
sense.
took the time to see it, bro.
But I thought it was a trip that whole big huge chunk of placenta, which has a lot of things, important things in it, is from the father.
All the important things.
Yeah.
You know what would be interesting is because, and I know, you know, this can also go into a different rabbit hole, but just keeping it on the surface of things. I wonder if a black person, right, if an African American, right, like if they do a DNA test, where their indigenous comes, because if you have a Mexican American right now, right, do one of those tests, then it'll say indigenous to Mexico, right? But obviously it's Mexico, speaking of the country now, right? But just the land of Mexico. Before it wasn't that. We know that, right? But so if that's pretty accurate, right? If a Mexican American does that, then if an African American does their DNA test, wouldn't their DNA come back to indigenous, but to Africa? Like I'm not denying that they're not indigenous to a land, but the Americas is not it. I don't think so. You know, I think white people and black people are foreigners, and they're really the immigrants that are on the American continent. That's what I believe, anyway.
Okay.
Hey, you know what? I'm gonna try to get somebody on the show just for that subject. I appreciate that you bringing that up, bro. It's an important issue. I think it's a very important issue, bro. And I respect your opinion, and I thank you for your knowledge, homie, on whatever you're studying and whatever. You know, your opinion is what the show is for us to learn from each other. So I appreciate your call,
That's
bro.
right.
For us.
Yes. Yeah, thanks for not dropping the call, NORBEEZ.
I know, NORBEEZ, thank you.
You too, Jay. All right. All right, Jay. Well, we'll talk to you later,
You get too excited.
Bye.
All right, Jay.
I get it. Everybody's blaming me. It's starting to get to me. Nah, it's not getting to me. I'm just fucking with you guys. But for the most part, do you want to take one more caller and then just end up with whatever super chats we have?
Yeah. Go for it.
Okay, so we have one more last call. If you guys want to be the last caller.
I appreciate all you guys in the
chat.
last call. The Red Cat, appreciate you. Zaid, appreciate you. Sal, what else do I see? Guppy from AZ's laughing. Ninja Magic. Who else? Who did I miss? Zapata.
El Boo. Shout out to El Boo. Shout out to Vida. Shout out to Wrinkles. Damn.
What?
Was that a yawn? Sheesh. All right, wait, you guys, let's get a call.
All right, let's get one more call. One more call.
Let's see. Aside from that, let's one more question from the community post. It's going to be
Shout out Snoopy.
all right. Here's where Manuel Pineda says, "Marvelous. What are your thoughts on a specific guy doing TikTok acting like a tweaker, going around malls and stores playing the part? He's all tatted up."
I never seen that. I don't know who that is, bro.
Okay, well, we haven't seen that, so let us know.
Yeah, I don't know. My bad.
All right, next one would be Zapata Viva says, should House Brown lose their brown card at the front door?
What does that mean?
I think he's talking about all the Latinos for Trump, those kind of people.
I think they should get slapped.
There's a lot of them. I mean, I think more than half the Raza podcasters were Trump supporters and encouraging our community to vote for him. I think that definitely blew up in their face because of what's happening now.
Yeah, now they're crying, man.
Yeah. Do you hear the good news about Alligator Alcatraz?
What?
It got flooded.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, they're not able to use it. There goes $240 million.
Yeah, they need to go stay there. That's what they need to do.
Yep.
Especially that pendeja talking about what the alligators eat and that they need to eat so much a day and stuff like that.
You hear about this one TikToker that's not TikToker, but she's actually from Instagram, and she put on her stories that they're not doing enough. What did she put? And I think she put something in the lines indigenous executions. That they're not doing enough of that.
I don't know. This is all new stuff to me. I haven't heard none of that.
Yeah, I was like, damn.
We're gonna take one more caller. So anybody want to call in? Chop it up.
Now's your chance.
Now's your chance.
Let's see if I can find that. But yeah, I thought that was interesting. Aside from that, you know what? Let's just go over to the super chats, because I think we had a few. I'm not sure, but let me check. All right, Victor Aguilar. Okay, actually no, we said that earlier. He gave that membership away, so thank you. Victor Aguilar says, wishing everyone a great night. 805 Plumbing and Drain San Diego says, IE Foods go protesting in booty shorts.
Oh, dirty. Dirty.
I've not been witness to that, and I do not want to be witness to that.
Dirty.
That being said, let's see.
We got one more call or no?
No.
I'm going to take one more call. One more call.
And that's it for the most part. Is there anything else you want to talk about before we go?
What was the other thing? We had one more thing that we were going to talk about.
Oh, yeah. No, well, the trollers. The trollers.
Oh, go for it. That saved them. I was about to ask for $100 to talk about them.
Call your name and where you calling from. That's a good one.
Hey, what's cracking, fool? It's the boy Vato from Chicago and shit, man.
That's right.
And, I just wanted to say what's up for you. Say what's up and shit to your channel, dog. And for a long time, I've been watching, bro. And the internet is very is devilish, bro. And I think we all aware of that shit. And I really don't want to get really into that deep shit, but I just want to give you like a salute, homie. You know what I'm saying, to your channel, bro. I appreciate you for breaking down knowledge, bro, to like people that are watching, bro, because you know you can pour up a cup of water to a motherfucker, but you can't force the fucker to drink it. You know what I mean? Knowledge is great, bro. Awareness, conscience, bro. Salute to you, way. Aquí estamos, güey. Buenas noches. Que tengan buenas noches. Aquí estamos hasta desde Acapulco hasta Guerrero.
That's right.
Aquí Chicago, bro. Salute to you, vato.
Gracias, homie. Hey, my respects to you,
man.
homie. Thank you so much, bro. Thank you so much.
Hell yeah. Chicago in the house.
Oh, go for it. Go ahead, take it. Go ahead.
Caller, your name and where you calling from? Caller. Nope. I think you got nervous.
That's it.
All right, no more calls. Let me get rid of this so you guys don't keep blowing up my phone.
All right, the Trollos.
Wait, do you want to start the goal? Let me put the goal to make $100.
Oh yeah, I'm only gonna talk about the troll channels, these fucking wannabe cholos on here. I'm gonna ask for $100 so I could talk about them. Who does that, homie? Who asks the public, give me money so I could talk about somebody?
It's sad because people actually paid, and it's
That's crazy.
It's interesting that you had It's kind of sad. There was one person that was super excited, like a little fat girl, that just had to. I think he paid $50.
Oh yeah, don't even bring that gay dude up.
Yeah.
But anyways, you know, like it's you guys be careful what you what do I say? What should I say? Be careful what you watch, you know, like we're not sitting here watching all these after I'm done with the show, I get a lot of messages, you know, and whenever somebody talks about me or says something, here comes all the screenshots or the screen recordings and look at what they said and look at what they're saying, and it's like, you know, unless it's something that it's like something new, then I'll look at it and see what's the new things that they're saying, you know?
Yeah.
Or whatever. But I'm not sitting there watching the whole video because I really don't care. They're irrelevant. Yeah. And these dudes, I've seen them in person, and they're not like the way they're acting on camera. They should really sign up to be in a movie or something, because they're not like that in person.
No, they're not
at all. They're
really
not like
good.
that in person. But anyways, yeah, I think Alvin and the Chipmunks over there said, oh, Marvelous can't host any events. Well, the first thing is that my channel's not to host events, pendejo. It's not. I didn't make a channel to host events.
I was gonna tell you, hey, bro, how come I don't get invited to the events?
I don't need to host events. And if I wanted to host an event, I can, and I will host it in your neighborhood. You know, I can host an. I don't know where if this guy thinks he's somebody or something. You know what I mean? Trying to be political. First of all, I don't got no bad paperwork on me. The second thing is that you don't like me, and you're making people on your little show, Alvin and the Chipmunks, people that don't know me not like me. You know, when this is your issue, your problem, and you should have handled that like a man. You know, and then you got a sidekick right there by you that you know, is all mad and you know, for what? Like this dude, I try to help him out with his diabetes. Yeah. You know? And he wants to get mad at me and beat up his wife. And then gets mad when his wife starts telling people what he did to her. Like, don't be mad at that. You know, get anger management issues. You know, go get some anger management. You know, and then who else was it that made a video on me? The old man again. You know, that he has the authority. I mean, the people are like, imagine if I'm like this, NORBEEZ, and I said, I mean, I don't know if you understand because you're not from a neighborhood, but imagine if I got on here and you know, being from my barrio, and I got out here and I said, you know what? Yeah, I got the authority to talk about this. It's like, damn, dude, I would really be trying hard because I want the public to believe that some people that are higher up said, hey, Marvelous, you have the full authority. Here's your little badge. Go ahead and whatever. Like, you're doing the most.
Yeah, for the most part. Yeah, no, you're right.
You know, and then the whole LA County story thing. I mean, if you could get any homie that slapped me up, please get him. Please get him.
Well, what do you say? Well, I heard it from the homie. I heard it from the homie. I heard it from the homie.
I heard no, but it doesn't even come to a homie. He said he's always saying that he hears it from a girl. I heard it from a girl. I heard one of the homegirls told me, like, what are you talking about, man? Get the homie. Get the homies that put hands on me. I would love to meet them. I would love. And then the other thing, saying I'm not from my neighborhood. You can't ever say that. You can never say that. You get the homies together that got me out the neighborhood. Please get them. As a matter of fact, go through my Instagram. They follow me. Go through my Instagram. And you tell me who jumped me out of my neighborhood, please. And if you want me out of the neighborhood, you should contact me so you can handle that. If you have an issue with Googling the neighborhood and seeing my face right there, you should come and handle that issue. Yeah. Not make it a YouTube thing, because I didn't make it a YouTube thing. He says, oh, Marvelous made it a YouTube thing. What are you talking about? I did a documentary about East LA, the Chicano in East LA. Like, How did I make it it's just it's crazy, bro. For a person to be that old,
Yeah.
you know, that old, you should worry about other things besides buying hair for your dye. Dye for your hair.
And he got a little confused also because he said a part where like, if Marvelous has been on there for 10 to 15 years on YouTube, why is this channel only got so many followers? Shouldn't he have so many? I'm like, oof.
And I'm not a content creator.
Well, not only that, we started this channel like 2 years ago.
I think they think that I'm a content creator,
That
and
part too.
I'm not a content creator. I'm not a YouTuber. I'm not a fucking YouTube star. I get on here specifically. The only reason why I made this channel is because I couldn't fit everybody at my house to have classes. I used to have classes, okay, where I used to fucking teach whatever I could teach and learn from them as well. And my house will get too packed. That's the only reason. I'm not on here talking about barrio stuff and prison and LA County jail stories and politics and what MM members and carnales.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit about any of that. That doesn't matter. That's not going to help me in my future, and it's not going to help you in yours because it still hasn't. And it's never gonna. You know, you're way too old. You need to worry about your health because talking recklessly, you got to have the stamina to back it up, and you do not have the stamina to back that up if you do meet somebody you're talking about in person. I guarantee you that. Any of you, Alvin and the Chipmunks, any of you guys, you need to just stop. You know, it's not about making videos. I understand you're getting numbers and you're getting paid off my name.
Yeah.
But you need to be real serious about this because you're going to be by yourself one day, you know? And if it gets disrespectful, it's because of your mouth.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and you need to just be a family. If you're going to be a family guy and a work guy, do that. If you're going to help the community, then do that. You know, if you're going to do stories about the neighborhood, then just tell your stories.
Yeah.
You know, don't involve everybody else and who you want everybody to believe that you know or that you have the authority to talk about anything, because you don't. Especially you do not have the authority. Don't fool yourself. You were never that person. You're not. And it's too late to be that person. So don't do that to yourself. You know, but anyways.
No, I mean, you're right. And one thing for sure, dude, what I would say is.
And then, wait up. My bad, NORBEEZ. My bad. Don't worry about my camera guy. Don't worry about NORBEEZ and, oh, he has this guy and this guy, whatever. This is my camera dude. He's not involved in neighborhood shit. He doesn't do none of that. This is we interact on my show. This is my show. If you have a problem with it, you're invited to my show. If I want to have an event, hey, American Chola, you're invited to my event. Make sure you show up by yourself. Make sure you come by yourself. Don't start calling people to show up with you 50 deep. Hey, you know, whoever you want to call. You know what you called last time.
Hey.
You know, don't do all that. You be a man all by yourself and show us how Honduras does it.
Hey.
Show us the man your mom was. How down she was. You talk about her all the time, how down she was. You know, yeah, she was. She was down. Not you. Don't be that person. Don't do that. That's foul.
Yeah.
You know? You should have a little bit more respect for yourself.
Definitely.
Go ahead.
But I did want to say, you know, to the Chipmunks, have the balls to not have one man, you know, speak for you. Because that was a little weird when he said,
get everybody.
Look
They even got
you can't, these guys right here, you can't fuck with them. They won't fuck with you.
Like, who is that? For real,
Like that
before, and then
Chipmunks,
they got another dude at the end of the table right there that doesn't even know me, homie. Like this vato's on a whole nother trip. Like, you know what I mean? But they want to get him to say F me. You know what I mean? Like, fool, what are you trying to make this vato believe? And all that little story that you want to keep pushing about the girl that became my baby's mom. Yeah, fool. There's a difference. There's a difference between a pedo or whatever the fuck you want to say, fool. That's not the jacket that will ever be put on me. It's not. A man got lied to. I got lied to, and her family was with her. What does it matter? Yeah, we had a kid. What does it matter? We messed around one time. What does that matter? I take care of my baby. That's irrelevant to anything. You know what I mean? You could keep trying to use that, you know, or whatever, but it's not gonna go anywhere, fool. And if you feel that bothered by something, you need to handle that like a man, not on camera. You don't need all that stuff. You know what I mean? You don't need all this backup. What do you need backup for? You know? Where was your dad at to show you that? You know? Where were your homies at? Didn't they teach you how to be a man? You need to be a man, you know, not a girl. But anyways, final thoughts.
That's right, not a
final
girl.
thoughts, and not even I want to address this because it's
Yeah,
old.
yeah.
Like this is
That was just a little
it's
message for the
it's an
trollos.
old. What you call it? But people ask me in the comments, and it's like
It's because they
dude,
need views.
I don't
Marvelous.
care.
They
I'm
need-
not bringing.
they-
I'm not
they need
the one bringing
views.
them up.
Nobody, they're not gonna get views if they don't bring you up.
Yeah,
That's
that
the
fool
thing.
had a whole folder right there with stuff that he wrote. And Marvelous is this, and Marvelous is that, and Marvelous can't go nowhere. Motherfucker, I'm everywhere, even in your hood. Like, what do you mean?
It's sad.
Like, that's
that,
crazy.
no, it's sad and
People can
pathetic.
push any narrative they want on the thing,
It's sad
and
and
people believe
pathetic
them.
when people like that realize they're not getting in numbers. Let me mention Marvelous. Let me put them out there so I could get people to watch me.
That's
I mean,
insanity.
That's sad. That is very sad. That's the true motives of a narcissist.
Yeah, but
that aside, you know what? My last thoughts of tonight, it was a great show. We had a good conversation. We talked about things that are going on in our community and our people. We talked a lot. We touched on a lot of little things here and there, but for the most part, today's live is like many lives where we sometimes we let the people make the show. And for the most part, I'm glad that we're able to do that and give people the platform to speak their mind. And for the most part, we're going through a hard time, people, and we just gotta be strong. We gotta stand. We gotta stand on 10 toes. We gotta support our people. We can't be afraid of speaking up for what's right, because there's a lot of injustice happening right now, and it's happening to our people. And for the most part, I want all of you guys to know that we're all part of this community. When you see one of those street vendors get tackled down, whether it be an old man, an old lady, that's your relative in a way, because it might not be your relative at that moment, but sooner or later, some of these mofos are going to try to get one of your family members, and we got to keep that in mind when we see that. It's good to record things and have them for your backup, but at the same time, it's also good to protect your people, and that's all I want to say to everybody. Thank
All right. Appreciate all you guys tuning in tonight. Remember what I said. This channel is only for education, to bring awareness to our people, to help our people, and to grow together as a real community, as a real barrio. And I hope that you guys understand that. I'm not a content creator, and my bad. Apologies for any drama that gets put into my channel. But it's not nothing that I'm bringing. I'm not bringing that energy. I don't go call a bunch of people out or start dissing everybody. Anything that I've spoken on, or any other podcaster that I've exposed, like real stuff, has been fact for everybody that I said. I haven't lied about nothing that I said about anybody, But I mean, I'm glad that you guys are here. I appreciate your time. I'm not here asking for money or give me this much money so I could talk about another man. Like, that's not what we do. And I just want to send my respects to you guys. Thank you for tuning in, and I hope you guys get something out of every episode that we do. We got the 90s rap coming soon, the next episode, and then after that one, I don't want to say because I have 2 ideas that I want to do for the next show on Marvelous Minds. But I do appreciate your time. We send our love and respect. Thank you, everybody, for the super chats and for the comment section. We appreciate you.
Wait, we did get through all the super chat, right? Let me make sure.
Yeah, I think so.
Yes, we did. Yes, we did. Thank you, super chatters.
Yeah, but I appreciate everybody that called in. Hey, gracias. You guys, this is your voice, a place for your voice to be heard too, So I send my respects, even to the homies, So gracias. Have a good night.